guys, while Dutch and Ephraim sift through the signals of the Strigoi and maybe their own subtle sexual chemistry, the weirdly emotional Feraldo sends Fett and Captain Rogers, no, not that Captain Rogers, deep behind enemy lines. Meanwhile, Gus and Angel stage a chain gang coup for a new love interest, ending up with a surprising reunion. Also, don't forget Zach successfully gets the most unbelievably awkward pet for a growing teenage boy. Ichor ends his longtime relationship with his left hand. All this tonight on the Strain After Show for Season 3, Episode 6, The Battle of Central Park. Let's go.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hello, everybody. Back to the theme song. Welcome to the After Show for the Strain Season 3, Episode 6, entitled The Battle for Central Park. I can go with it. This episode, I won't say that it was as good as the previous three, but it's definitely still
It's still okay.
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah,
I
it's
enjoyed
still
it.
good enough.
Barring the really awkward storyline with Zach, it was a good episode.
Which I thought was okay. There was some weird parts to it that I thought that they could get into.
Yeah, it's a manipulation of Zach.
Yeah,
but it just is super weird.
Yeah, it's super weird.
I just thought it was wrong. Just the girl, she's a dog, basically. She's his pet dog. I didn't like that.
It's like one step forward for the storyline and two steps backward for feminism.
Yeah,
it's like
Donald
Jesus.
Trump would love it.
Oh my God. Okay. So, joining me to break down the episode tonight, I have Michael Young.
Hey, what's up, guys? That's right. You can find me on Twitter at ONEYOUNGSTA.
And, of course, the amazing Stacey Newsome.
Hey, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at the Stacey Newsome, STACEYNEWSOM.
And you guys can find me on Twitter at Stephen Lemieux, STPHNLEMIUX, because we're spelling things tonight. So let's do it. First thoughts on the episode, Michael.
I was pleased with it. Everything, barring the command center scenes, I was kind of into. I enjoyed it. It was, like you said, it wasn't as strong as the last three, but I still think it was a decent entry. I think we're getting much better than the first two episodes that we have. So, I'd probably say the last three episodes were stronger, and this one was solid enough.
I felt like it was another case of them taking 3 steps forward and 5 steps backwards. You know? I did, because it's like, okay, they achieve their goal of bombing the nest, but then what happens? It's like you have more Strigoi on the outside now than you do on the inside. So it's like, what do they do now? The perimeter's breached by these Strigoi all over Central Park. So it's like now the Strigoi have taken over.
So I think that's a good point. The Strigoi have now taken over, which I think is where the story needed to go. We haven't yet gone in this show super, super dark. Yeah. I mean, we've gone dark, and we've seen some messed up stuff, but things haven't really gotten hopeless yet.
Yeah.
There's still, during the daytime, there's still that hope. I feel like today's the start of everything is going a mile a minute downhill. Central Park was the final push to take New York. And in the scenes from next episode, we see a Strigoi in daylight wearing sunglasses and a hoodie, and I think we're going to start seeing attacks during the day, and it's going to be less and less safe during the day there.
I'll agree. I think we need that. We need a very dire sense of urgency that I don't think we've seen just yet, especially not in Season 2, but now I think we could use that, at least for the rest of this season, and of course, since the final season is next season. So we definitely need to go to a place where people don't know what to do.
Obviously, if you haven't heard the news, they released that next season will be the last season of The Strain.
Thought you guys knew, sorry.
They said it will be...
Spoiler
they
alert.
renewed it, but they also said it would end it, which I think is a good thing. I don't think... It's a 3-book story. You don't need 5, 6, 7 seasons to get that across.
10 seasons to do that.
And having a deadline for the end of this story might actually help the writers a lot. Because if you're going into a Season 4 not knowing if it's going to end or not, you're going to make some choices that might not be as timely and as good. So I think really putting that fire under them is going to be great. I want to talk about the elephant in the room real quick. The elephant that wasn't in Central Park. I haven't seen a single black Strigoi.
Yes, I brought that up. I was like, where are the black people? Where's the black Strigoi?
And I was, like I said, the the black guy that I remember was the guy that worked for Eldridge.
Yeah.
But him and his brother left New York in like season 1.
I guess all the black people left New York.
Yeah, that's the only thing I think.
guess
I
no
guess they
black
just
people
got
left
out of
New
there.
York. The black people like, we are out.
They're like, all right, look, that's all we needed to know. Like the first news report, and they're
Right.
like, we're out.
Vampires? No.
Maybe that's what it is. They're like, you know what? Y'all are crazy. We out.
Yeah.
They didn't stick around for your bank holiday.
You gotta wonder though, because I mean, you look at New York and you're like, all this stuff's going down. There's so many people who are just acting, like throughout season 1 and 2, everyone's just going about their day normally,
Yeah.
while like somebody's getting eaten in the alleyway across the street.
I mean, even in the web series Under Siege, the female character, the woman that gets in the chain gang in this episode, Tracy Perez's character, I can't remember her name, but in the web series, they pick her up for looting, and I'm like, are you guys still really arresting looters? Like, I don't know if you know, but there's a larger issue going on in New York.
Yeah.
Well, they clearly just need bodies. They need bodies, so they're picking up people for anything.
And he was like, "You're looting, and you're messing up our efforts to clean up New York." I'm like, "Really? No, the
was it?
Strigoi are messing up your."
Was that Rudy
your
Giuliani?
efforts."
Was that Giuliani?
But yeah, so you're right. People were kind of like going about their business, kind of just like, "Oh, I still have to go to work tomorrow." It's like, I don't know if you know, but it's kind of the post-apocalypse. Just a little bit.
It's like, yeah, Peter, I'm gonna need you to work on Saturday. I know they're killing people out there, but you know, there's a big project, dude. You know,
Project.
Sunday probably too. Gonna need to see you here, Ephraim, down at the CDC.
Oh man.
You know, you got your face on TV. Shout out to Renji, Adam Fink in the chat, and Brian Falk. Thanks for joining us live. Again, guys, if you watch on YouTube Live, you can hit that thumbs up button for the video. Helps us keep us searchable. Also, rate and comment on iTunes. We didn't get a comment, but got a new rating of 5 stars. Thank you to whoever that was. Be sure to leave a comment next time, and we'll give you a shout out. And then, yeah, we've been replying to the comments on the YouTubes as well. So some good stuff in there. Adam Fink says, I think Herr Icarus should put a chainsaw on that stump, a la Ash from Evil Dead. I think that'd be pretty interesting, but only if it's a silver-tipped chainsaw.
Ooh.
Rip mofos to shreds. All right, so what should we talk about first? Let's just get Zach out of the way. Like, what the hell, guys?
Let's just get Zach out of the way.
Jesus. And it's like, I know usually I open up the Zach storyline with, like, douchebag, dumb dick Zach or whatever. I'm not even going to open up with that because at least they're trying to do something interesting with his character, but man, this is weird.
One thing I do like is that Zach, I think, has reached his crazy limit because he wrote that letter to his father. So, or
In very
to whoever,
good penmanship,
It was
by the
kind of
way.
like, help me! I've reached my level of crazy. I can't do it anymore. It was okay, but now I'm literally living with a Strigoi. I've reached my level.
So-
Here's my dad's name. Help me.
I hate this kid so much. Let me just preface this with I hate this kid so much.
Yes.
Here's my Zach rant, right? So he's trapped in a room. They won't let him get fresh air. They don't let him get clocks. He's already asking for that stuff. And then they decide, hey, we'll give you an extra pet. Have this teenage girl who used to be a blind girl, but now she's not. It's cool. She's just kind of a little bit hairy. She doesn't smell all right, but it's fine. She'll come when you call her. She'll get up on the bed with you. Don't do anything naughty. But you can throw the tennis ball. She will play catch with you. It'd be amazing. So they give her this pet.
Who will do anything he asks.
Anything
Yeah,
you
I
ask.
was like,
He kept emphasizing
kinda-
that she'll do anything.
I was like, I don't know how I feel about this.
It's like
That was 10 kinds of wrong.
Kelly's trying to be that cool mom that like hires a prostitute or something. It's like just
Oh,
it's
man.
just really creepy. But
Yeah,
his
it
mom's
is.
like, it's like, yeah, you know, she'll kill people for you. Like she'll do this. Like I'm sorry that you had to see me kill somebody. It's like you think he'd be used to this by now.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you are a Strigoi. He knows that you are a Strigoi, Kelly. Why is he not okay with other Strigoi when he's okay with you walking around and stuff? Just because of the little makeup?
She is his mom.
And
Yeah.
she still looks normal. Well, normal-ish.
She looks
Yeah.
normal-ish, but it's still just kind of that thing where it's like, okay, either he's all in or he's not all in. And I can't tell right now because every time that I feel like, okay, maybe he's ready to like try to escape because he realizes everyone's around him is crazy, he decides to play fetch with the damn Strigoi. And I'm like, okay, so obviously he's just kind of coming around, he's okay with this. So I just need to know, is he going to be Stockholm Syndrome Zach, where he's like okay with Strigoi and like they're manipulating him into being okay being around Strigoi, and then we can see the cool scenes where he's being Damon Child walking through the streets alongside Strigoi, and people try to take his stuff or something, and he has the Strigoi kill humans to protect himself. We're going to see that, or are we going to just see Zach?
Which could be cool.
Which could be cool. But you can't have half measures with this character because the other thing is he's going to go out there with the Strigoi, with this little whatever he wants to name it, and he's going to try to run away. And it's going to be like this lame thing where they catch him again, and it's just going to be like the same old, same old.
I think they're doing the half measures because they plan to, I guess, redeem his character later. Because he is the reason that Nora died, and he has been pretty on par with, or I mean, on board with everything they've been doing. As far, I mean, he watched his mom kill a kid, and he still kind of came around on that.
He killed Steve from Blue's Clues.
Yeah. So,
but what else is he gonna do though? Is he just gonna like? Wow.
Which is why I'm
what
thinking.
What else can he do? He has no like recourse at this point.
Yeah, which is why I think that he got so on board so quick with the pet. Is because he's like, oh yeah, this is a great idea. I can just throw it a tennis ball. Help me, Dad. Help me. And then like sneaks out.
He should have been like, you know what? This is great. I like the pet. How about a real teenage girl? Just throwing that out there. Doesn't even need to be a pet.
Just a normal one.
Just let me have a friend.
Or how about a dog? How about that?
Yeah, right. How about a dog?
A Strigoi dog.
So meanwhile, you're dealing with this stuff. And then they're like, we're leaving. You have 3 minutes. Grab what you want. And he's got this damn Maze Runner book. And at this point, he decides to try to write a message to his dad when he has 3 minutes. And he writes, this is Zach Goodweather. Contact my dad, Dr. Ephraim Goodweather. I am safe and...
alive and safe.
Alive and safe.
Alive.
In very good penmanship, I might point out again.
Calligraphy.
Okay, so here's why I'm just like, all right, is he all in or is he all out with the Strigoi? Because he could have very easily written something like, hey, we're leaving right now. I'm sorry you couldn't find me. I'll try to leave breadcrumbs or something. I'll try to do something so you know where I am. He could have given any useful information. Mom is this. Icehurst is this.
Yeah.
Something's going on.
Yeah,
he overheard their conversation about the Master. Hey, they're upset because the Master's gone. They don't know what's going on with the Master right now. Some pertinent information. Hey, Dad, I'm safe and sound. I'm just chilling with Uncle Icehurst and Mama.
Uncle Icehurst.
I got a nice little pet. You know, she's a little girl. Used to be blind. Isn't that cute? Now she can see again. See, they're good people. Like, it's just a little bit like, okay, I'm sick of chaotic neutral Zach. Just give me a side. Give me a side for Zach so I can get behind him. If he's a bad guy, let me get behind Zach as a bad guy. But if he's a good guy, he's making really dumb decisions, and I can't get behind that.
Yeah, because it's a good point. Even if he is going down the road that I think he's going down, he could have gave them a little more information, like, I'm with Icehurst and Mom, or, I think we're going here, or, they leave me alone for, say, 5 hours a day, or, some kind of information besides I'm alive and safe. Mm-hmm. And you're not really safe. You're just alive. But he's...
Well, I guess he was basically saying, I'm not a Strigoi. I'm still human.
Yeah. Well, let's just say if you ever have a chance to play fetch with a blind girl, it's a very weird
yeah. And
it's a very weird storyline.
I do think they could have dressed her up a little bit, like, gave her like a wig and, like some makeup, kind of like, like Icehurst does, like hook her up a little bit, give her some glamour shots.
Really weird. That would have been
like, I feel like
weird.
At that point they would have been, then people would be really upset with the show. They're like, you're having a little girl do this.
Yes.
Yeah, I retract my previous statement. Maybe that would have been weird. That would have been really weird. Especially with the, she can do anything you want. And we're like,
we are going to give you mild, subtle sexualism in these sentences. We're very subtly writing it in, but it's very on your nose at all at the same time. I'm Icehurst. I have never gotten love from anyone except for when I tied Dutch up and gave her pineapple in my room.
Or, well, that girl that he ended up having to tell on, like, way back in the day. But, I mean, that's super over.
Yeah, but even then, like, he didn't end up with her.
Yeah, you're right. They never did.
Of course, there's like,
cross that.
I have a pen, I have pineapple. Here's a girl for your pet.
Wow.
I don't know. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, so I'll admit that they're throwing us for a loop on some of these things. They're throwing us things out of nowhere that we weren't expecting, which I like. Albeit weird, I was not expecting Zach to get a pet feeler.
Not at all.
No.
So
That
that
almost
was
sounds
cool to get
nasty the way
something
you
that
just
they
said it. A pet feeler.
That's what it is. It's a pet feeler. It's like having a little tarantula. Okay, so moving on. Also, the feeler's eyes look like Mads Mikkelsen in the Doctor Strange trailer.
Good point. Yeah, very good
They
point.
look so much similar. Maybe they can bend time. That's how they move so fast. Okay, let's move on to Gus, Maria, and Angel. So this storyline was definitely out of left field for where we thought it was going.
Yes.
I was not expecting that at all. They go in there. We were introduced to Maria, who's looting bodies, kind of a new love interest for Gus, because God knows we don't want his mom staying as love interest. So they go in there. They have their sticks. They get through it. Gus and Angel just know how to kill things. They're just good at it.
They got it on lock.
And then Mullet Guard and other Mullet Guard, female Mullet Guard, the Mullet Guard duo, decide that they're angry and they're going to send Maria in for no reason because they're just being dicks for no reason at this point.
Now they're just abusing their power. And even Gus said it. He was like, "This is police brutality at this point."
I think I get what they were going for, though, is because, like, it's very easy to piss people off if you just decide that all cops are bad, because all cops aren't bad. So I think they sufficiently made you dislike those cops enough that them getting killed, you're like, mofos.
Yeah, about time.
I mean, because they coerced people into being a chain gang and killed multiple people, so they kind of deserved it. Plus, just having the mullet in the first place, like,
Mullets are death
If
worthy.
they just weren't so cartoonishly bad guys,
Right?
you know?
But the funny part is when
he
Mullet
shoots.
Yeah, he was like, "I can make this shot." Like, I don't.
Does this look shaky to you?
And he straight kills his partner.
Yeah.
It's like
She had it coming.
he doesn't even have a shot. Bang! Just shoots her in the head, and then he gets his head blown off with a shotgun.
because Angel does not miss in that one.
No.
He does not miss. He's been waiting to make that shot.
I love how they're just making fun of the, does this look shaky to you? It's like, Pendejo looks like he's about to piss his pants, you bitch ass mofo.
We should have known
everybody's,
that
like,
was coming
laughing.
at that point.
Oh my god, it's just ridiculous. So they're like, okay, so we're literally 5 minutes into this tunnel and can't find our way back out. So let's find a different way out. I guess it's to avoid finding the cops again.
Yeah.
And they're trying to follow the map. They waste all of their bullets on one Strigoi just chilling around.
Yeah, just running back and forth.
And luckily, Fett to the rescue, shoots him, and then they're about to shoot each other, and they're like, wait a second, is that Fett? And Gus is like, yo, man, 3-letter name club. What up, bro?
It's like, hey, how's it going? Yeah, what up, bro? I haven't seen you in a long time. Oh, yeah.
I thought you was dead.
He's like, hey, Gus.
Together again.
Gus, you seen any black Strigoi around here? Me neither. I ain't seen any of them.
It's like, you seen any? Nah, man.
We're gonna keep looking.
Strigoi lives matter.
So like,
We're not gonna make her stay, but I could really use the help. We're gonna go down. We're gonna take out the nest of thousands of them.
well, it's cool. He showed like it was a little romance between him and Maria. You know, he was like, hey, you know, protect her.
We should open with
I see
Maria
you later,
Maria Santana. So that's when their storylines meet up. We'll continue with this once we get through Fett.
Yes.
All right. So before we talk to Fett or talk about Fett,
I'd love to talk to Fett.
oh, you want to talk to Fett? He's gonna send you a direct message. Oh, you don't like the rodent guy just because he kills rats. You don't like him anymore. So we see Fett's character and we see Feralda's character. Feralda, I don't know what they're doing with this character. I'm so confused.
Yeah, she's a basket case right now.
Well, it's just, okay, her arc was like this, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, she's going. She gets attacked. She gets the worm in her. And then she's like, all right, arc moving forward, hard ass, back to badass bitch.
Yeah, she's serious.
Hell mode, we're taken down. We're getting to New York safe, right?
Yeah.
So she takes the news person stuff, and she's like, no nonsense. I'm up in this hell.
No nonsense.
And then it just seemed like it went like, emotions! Just pushing her back to where she was before, where she's just freaking out about everything. It's just, she looks like in The Killing, where the mom like isn't sure where her daughter is. It's like, that's kind of what it felt like.
Yeah, all of the command center scenes were her kind of just being worried the whole time, like, where's Fett? What's going on? Okay, we can't hear. Tell me everything's okay. And it's like, nah, man, like, you were just really cool last episode. Like, you were just super cool. You were like, take charge, you know, shoot first, ask questions later, and now you're so worried, and I don't like it.
I think the show just can't have more than one strong female character featured at one time. It's like, hey, we brought Captain Rogers back. Let's make Feralta a total pussy again. And then let's make Dutch depend on Ephraim for everything again. Okay, cool. Great. All right, cool. So our female characters are kept in check. Can't have too many strong females.
Yeah.
You know, we got Maria. She's doing it okay. We can't let her go in that hole. You know, we gotta pull her back.
Pull it back.
We can't introduce a Hispanic strong female character.
Yeah.
Too much.
Too strong.
Audiences wouldn't like it.
They don't test well.
Right? Like, why can't everyone left in New York kind of be a badass at this point?
Because you think by now, anyone who's left that isn't, that hasn't been fed on, is at least pretty good at taking care of themselves.
Well, because they dangle that carrot in front of you with Maria, where the first introduction's like, you think I don't know how to fight?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, damn, damn. Like, and you're thinking, okay, this girl's going to be a badass like Gus. Maybe trio, Gus, Angel, and
the kind of fighting she was talking about is, I'm going to take my earrings off, put some Vaseline on my face, and I'm going to whip your ass, girl. That's the kind of fighting she was thinking was going to go down.
But then she gets in the tunnel and she's just freaking out and she doesn't do anything. And I'm just like, okay, so we had a really cool opportunity here that just kind of got wasted. Now I don't know if we'll even see her again. And even if we do, she's kind of useless because she needs to be protected. And I'm like,
hopefully we'll
You're sounding very much like a feminist right now. I like it.
you know, I'm not even trying to, I don't like to put labels on things. I think it's just obvious. I feel like at this point in the show, you shouldn't have to dumb down certain other characters.
Yeah.
You should be able to have...
Everybody should be pretty rough.
Yeah.
By now.
By now, you should have Captain Rogers being a badass. Dutch should be a total badass after what happened with her and Icorst.
Yeah.
If anything, Dutch should not have been able to do what she did to Icorst because she could have been afraid of him or something. I would have gotten that, but she should be a badass in all other aspects for hellbent on revenge.
Yeah.
Maria, we're introduced to her in a way where she's contemptful of them for them making fun of her being a woman. She should have been a badass, and maybe she'd take out some Strigoi. But, you know, we're just losing a lot of these opportunities for cool characters. So, back to Feralta. So, yeah, Feralta, again, strong character that they just decided to, like, oh, she went too strong, let's pull her back.
Yeah.
And she's working with Kowalski, who comes off a little sketch. Like, Kowalski, like, there's something going on.
Yeah.
I didn't pick up on that.
Well, at times he just acts weird sometimes, and I don't know if that's the term I want to use, but it just seems like he knows something he's not telling.
Do you think he's on the payroll for Palmer?
Ooh.
You know what? He could. I mean, we know Palmer's got to be getting information from inside of Feralta's camp some way.
Well, all of the Strigoi seem to know that they were sending down something to kill that nest with bombs. Also, all of the Strigoi attacked and successfully lured the police officers, all of them, out to be out at night.
What if he's actually a Strigoi?
I don't think that far, but I think he could definitely be on the payroll.
Because that would be a nice introduction to the storyline. Because I mean, he's close enough to the power without being the power to where he could be kind of like overlooked, I guess you could say. You know, like, so it's like, oh, it's definitely not Feralta, you know, because, you know, we know it's not her. But the man next to her could easily be, you know, persuaded with money.
Yeah, and it's
I
just
guess
kinda,
that's not even useful anymore. Is money even useful now?
Well, we'll get to that because we have Icorst to talk about. She has a great speech at the end there. So yeah, it's just a weird thing. So Fett and Rogers go down with two other guys, Lee and what was it? Riley. Lee and Riley. and we're like, oh man, Lee and Riley, they're both dead. And then they go down there and they're both dead. And they meet up with Gus and Angel, and then just Gus sticks with them. So the three of them decide to go down to the nest. They're going to blow up the silver in midair to fumigate basically the entire nest with silver. So what I'm wondering at this moment is, was that like, were we seeing the Strigoi on the top layer? And, like, literally, it was, like, 50 more feet down of just piled up Strigoi. Was the nest just infinitely larger than we thought it was? Or was that just one of many surrounding that area? So, because it seems like it took them 3 hours to get to a place that big underground, so I can't imagine there being so many of them. So where were they all, if not underneath that first layer that you saw?
It's a good point, because they do seem to come from everywhere surrounding there, but they couldn't have been that far away.
Right?
So maybe they were all, like sleeping on top of each other, like stacked up.
Well, maybe they knew ahead of time, and so a lot of them came out ready for the attack once the...
But then wouldn't they have run into more of them on the way there? Because then they would have been on their way out.
Or maybe other tunnels they didn't cover, I guess. I don't know. Because we know there's more tunnels than the way that Fett came in. But... It just seems like there were so many,
Maybe they all were above ground beforehand. Maybe they all went in the buildings surrounding Central Park and just loaded the buildings up.
And just waited.
Yeah, just waited. And that was just a trap to get all the police out. So from the beginning, the nest was just a trap.
Yeah, and I feel like once they got to a certain hour, Fett should have pulled back because it was so late at night. It's like we can't do anything. But I guess... When you get that far, you have to pull the trigger.
Well, they knew it was going to be late at night, but I think they were just trying to pull the trigger before that nest got out.
True.
So I think he knew it would be late at night when he signaled it, and they were just going to clean up the remnants that escaped through Central Park. But
they just didn't know it was going to be that big.
Didn't know it was going to be like 5,000, 10,000 Strigoi. But, I mean, what's the population of New York? Like 3 million? Like...
I don't know.
8 million.
It's like
8 million?
9 million, something like that.
So you take just that area, you're alone getting 2 million people. Out of that, maybe, let's say, half escape, you got 1 million people left. 10,000 Strigoi is like less than 1%.
Yeah, so it's easy to assume that there could be 10,000, maybe even 20,000 Strigoi.
It's easy to assume there could be
Manhattan
500,000 Strigoi hidden throughout the whole city.
Sure.
So, like, nuke the city at this point, because, like, what are you going to do?
Which is what I think that the government is probably going to do. But who knows? Because the government also has problems in D.C., Atlanta, and I think Houston that they said.
Exactly. So, guys, before we move forward, because we're going to totally talk about Eichhorst, and we're going to totally talk about kind of a little bit of Dutch and Ephraim on what their plan has been today. We do these shows all for free, and we don't make you pay for them at all. So, you know what? You can help us do by supporting our sponsors, and one of our great sponsors is actually a book right now. And if you're a big fan of The Strain, you should read The Strain books. Because they were originally books before they were made into TV shows, so books can be the basis for TV. And we have a great new book that you can check out called Crooked Kingdom. Imagine you just pulled off the heist of the century, you stormed the kingdom, you stole the magic, and now there will be hell to pay. Crooked Kingdom picks up where 6 of Crows left off. Kaz Brecker and his raging band of thieves are heading out in the city of Ketterdam, surrounded by the gathering forces of magic power and all-out war. Their only hope to survive is to con their way out, which is pretty cool. Think Harry Potter meets Game of Thrones. It's that's what they're saying in the Los Angeles Times, with a caper twist, like with a stealing stuff. So that's pretty sick.
Something like a heist kind of vibe. I like that.
Yeah, but like taking like a heist plays, like imagine like Ocean's 11 with magic and sorcerers and stuff. Like that's pretty
That'd be
sick.
cool.
So Publishers Weekly gave 6 of Crows a starred review. This is all the right elements to keep readers enthralled. A cunning leader with a plan for every occasion, 9 impossible odds, on entertainingly combative team of skilled misfits, twisty plot, and a nerve-wracking cliffhanger. 6 of Crows was a #1 New York Times bestseller, USA Today bestseller, and New York Times Notable Book of the Year. Readers are hooked and dying for more. Now the wait is over. The con is on. The entire kingdom is up for grabs in Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. Learn more about Crooked Kingdom and all the Grisham novels at leighbardugo.com. That's LEIGHBARDUGO.com. Head there, check them out, support our sponsors because they support us, and without them doing that, we would not be able to talk about The Strain every week. Also, I'll give a shout out to all our fans. We got Lel Kid in the chat.
What up?
We got J.A. commenting on my glasses. Renji90998, give me shelter. Adam Fink. Selwonk.
Adam Feek is always in the house, too.
Dude,
What's up,
he is.
Adam?
He's a big fan of the strain. Give Me Shelter says, hey, and we say, hey. Guys, please, we got 19 people watching live right now. Hit that thumbs up. If you'd like to be one of those 19 people watching live next week or more, you can go to youtube.com/AfterBuzzTV and check out the live stream taping Sundays at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Right? No, 12 a.m. Eastern Time, 3 hours forward, not 3 hours backward. And watch live. Comment with us live. It's pretty fun. And then make sure you comment after the video has finished streaming so your comment is saved and we can reply to it. Otherwise, the live chat comments don't really stick around, unfortunately. Okay, let's talk about Eichhorst's little thing. Of course, Fett finds the underground pet lair for Steve from Blue's Clues and whatever Zach's going to name her. What do you think Zach's going to name her?
Good question. Spot.
Spots?
Spot.
I was thinking too, Blindy.
Lassie?
Maybe a real name. Maybe like.
Oh my God! If he names her Nora.
Oh, that'd be cold. That would be cold. I don't think the writers wouldn't do that. That would be wrong. They could maybe. Like in memory of.
You should call her Michonne.
Ah, man.
I don't know. It's pretty cool. Okay. Helen Keller.
She's so.
Oh, I know you did it.
I didn't say anything.
Went there.
I did not say Helen Keller just now. That is not what I said. Okay, so Eichhorst decides to storm the castle and see Ephraim. And we have actually a great message here. I really liked this monologue that Eichhorst gives him. He's like, you are a scientist. You are a man of medicine. You know that the world is not owned by humanity. There's not some predestined thing that humanity is always going to be at the top. Eventually, humanity is going to fall. We're going to end up killing all each other, and then something else will rise. So he's just saying that basically the Master and the Strigoi are that next thing. There's nothing saying that humanity has a right to the planet. So they can fight back all they want, but at one point something's going to give, and which side do you want to be on? So he just wants Ephraim to surrender at this point. They're really just trying to manipulate Ephraim through his son and wife, because he could have just said, Zach's safe with us, but he says, no, your wife and son are safe with us. So that happens. Ephraim shoots. Eichhorst does his weird blurry thing, and then is like, yo, what up, mofos?
Oh yeah, and she deserved that sweet revenge that she got. Or
right.
At least even if it was just a hand.
Yeah.
You know, Dutch deserved that sweet revenge. Like, yeah, at least she got a piece of it. You know, she didn't get to stab him in the heart or like slice him in half, but at least she got a piece of him.
Yeah, right. So she slashes his hand off, and then he like, with a quickness, turns around and just uppercuts her right in the chin. And I'm like, wow, I'm glad he used his real hand, not the stump, because that just like put worms right on him.
True. Good point.
Yeah, so that was pretty satisfying, getting his hand cut off.
Yeah, it was something that we didn't expect too. So the writers are starting to give us a couple twists and turns that we're not seeing coming a mile away.
Are we gonna get like a Deadpool scene with Eichhorst like, I have a little hand. It's so tiny.
Well, I don't think they regenerate their limbs because you had Satrakian cut the guy back in the day apart. Talking about, you heal fast, but you guys don't regenerate limbs.
You're right.
So you put them in like the cooler or whatever. Oh yeah, the chest. Put the cooler. Put him in the cooler with a couple of Coors Light and
Nazis in my chest. Nazis in my chest. Better late than never.
Oh, but may I mention, I like, on the personal level, how they're showing Dutch's vulnerability when it comes to Fett, like her getting jealous over his partner.
Oh, so jelly.
that was a funny scene though.
She's going to jelly school for sure. Like,
he was like, I think she could beat you in a fight.
it was so awkward. He's like, oh, you want to come with me? We're going to get some stuff from my house. I'm like, is he like propositioning her right now before they go out on the mission? Like, is he like trying to get a quick one in before they go down and take out the nest?
He might throw her that line like, we could die tonight.
All I can think of is, Gary, if you could promise me right now that you will never die, I'll have sex with you right now. I will never die. One of the best scenes in Team America, guys. If you haven't seen that movie, oh my
that
god,
movie is stupid, but in such a good way.
Love you guys are geeking out. You guys are totally geeking out. I love it.
I will
never die. It's like I just don't want to be alone tonight, you know. You know, I've been catching rats so long. I never had someone who could catch my heart. But it's like, did he need to bring her with him? No, but he knew Dutch was there, and he wanted he wanted to show off his side piece and be like, oh, hey, Dutch, I got a new model. She's strong. She doesn't need no pineapple for no strigoi.
Yeah, because he did trot her in there.
That's some savage stuff right there.
He was like, hey, by the way, Captain Rogers, she's a captain.
I like what you're doing in my house. It's my house.
Why wouldn't he be jealous though? Because she and Ephraim are like kind of getting a little close to me, you know?
He ain't worried about F. He got more game than Ephraim does. Yeah. I mean, he's the bald head of the CDC, but Fett has like. I feel if F and Fett walk into a club, he's good.
Yeah, it's like I'm not.
F's gonna have to work a little bit.
Nothing against Corey Stoll at all, but between Kevin Durant and Corey Stoll, I'm pretty sure Kevin has a hand up in.
It's a little
Well,
bit.
it depends on what you're attracted to. If you're attracted to more of the intellectual type, then
Well, I
Corey
just
Stoll.
mean in this case, like I don't think Fett's afraid at all because like he knows that he's got a temper and he knows that Ephraim's an alcoholic and he's like I'm not worried about this dude.
Yeah,
he's got whiskey dick from here to like next year.
See, that's what, ladies, chime in. Let us know your thoughts in the comments or in the chat. Let us know if both of them approached you. You know, of course, not post-apocalypse, just regular. You know, who would you prefer, Corey or Kevin?
We know who I would prefer.
Corey?
We know who I'd prefer.
Hey, Stacey. We gotta go pick up some stuff from my house. Let's go. Let's go to my house. He's very pushy. You gotta come with me to my house.
And then when he walked up, he was like, Captain Rogers. He's like, yeah.
It's Captain Rogers. No, not that Captain Rogers. Not Captain America.
Because once they said Captain Rogers, I was like, word?
I was like, man, she's
Have
got
a
a
crossover?
shield. All right, moving on to Ephraim and Dutch.
Oh, yeah.
Their awkward sexual chemistry forever overshadowed by their signals that we're reading through a ball of bugs.
Yes. And wormy goodness in
Wormy
your
goodness.
brain.
Yeah. You know, it's called a medulla oblongata. We all have one.
But I mean,
So it makes crocodiles smile.
Really? What?
Waterboy reference. So
I didn't even like that movie.
they're just working.
nah.
Captain Insano doesn't agree. So they're trying to figure out this whole signal thing, and they're picking up lots of signals, and they're not expecting that, and it's like, and you're like, whoa.
And the funny thing is that you have F trying to like be all cool and like, Captain's log, we have signal coming from. And that's just like, look, we have signals, we have no idea what they mean.
You know what? Maybe those signals were them communicating to each other before the bomb went off that, hey, these people are like coming out here to kill us. Let's make sure, we have a strategy to overpower them.
Maybe it was like the trap is set kind of thing. Like, hey, look, be ready to kill all the cops.
Pretty much. I mean, I think that the reason they weren't expecting it is because they were getting a much louder signal, and that was their clue that there were many more than they thought there were. Yeah. And I think it's kind of, to me, the main thing that's like, oh, this is a trap, is because it's nighttime and all the Strigoi were still sleeping in that cave.
Yeah, you're right. It's a good point. They were nestled softly in their beds.
It's like little snot bubbles, like.
It's like, I'm a creature of the night, but I'll sleep in.
The creatures of the night. Oh yeah. Throw back to season 2 after show.
Man. It's funny because I've seen all these episodes and now I'm here to do callbacks.
Bank holiday. I think again though we get a nice overhead shot of all the Strigoi in their nesting. Not a single black one inside. I
don't know if I should be happy about that or upset.
Should be offended.
I should be offended or I should be like, yes, we got out.
I'm sure some black actors would like that job.
Or this job,
yeah.
Like that's the job.
We
Just
know,
like
we know how to be
let's
creepy
do it.
crawly too. We can be creepy crawly.
We can do that.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, let's go into predictions.
All right. I guess ladies first.
Okay, so I think that. I'm just kidding.
Predictions.
Go ahead.
Okay, I haven't really thought about. I think we're going to see Dutch and the other chick get into a fist fight.
Dutch and Rogers?
Yes.
Captain Rogers. Captain Rogers, I got it.
I think they're gonna like throw down over Fett.
It's like, that was his Ron Burgundy moment. Like, me and Captain Rogers are having sex. Just gonna shout her name out in front of all these cops. Yeah, I don't know. I think we will definitely get a scene with Rogers and Dutch having to work together.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tense conversation at least.
Yeah.
At the very least.
I think it'll be funny because Captain Rogers doesn't really love Fett. I think she slept with him, and
Yeah.
it's like just kind of like a flesh
He's
thing.
okay.
Yeah, like I don't think she like personality wise is like in love with him. I think Dutch has more of an emotional connection with Fett. So I think it'd be interesting for Captain Rogers to be like in that situation where Dutch keeps saying things like snide remarks, and she just has to break down. It's like, look, I slept with him once. I don't know what the hell you want from me. Let's just get through this right now because you can have him. I don't care. Let's just live. For the love of God, put down that pineapple, Dutch. Let's just get through this.
Oh man, I think next episode, at least I hope, since there's been such a large push, and now it seems that they've definitely Strigoi has definitely have it under control. I hope to see Icor's make a more public appearance, kind of like, hey, or maybe to even Feralda being like, hey, I run the Strigoi, or I am the voice of the Strigoi. You are surrounded. There is nothing you can
Twitter
do.
profile, voice of Strigoi.
Voice of destruction.
Hashtag executive producer of Strigoi Industries.
But I mean, kind of like making a public appearance, like, you have lost now. We are in control, kind of like more of a public push to kind of like more out in the open.
More of a society. So coming out as a society as opposed to just these bloodless things.
Yeah.
Like Icorst actually being like, hey, I'm a Strigoi. What you gonna do? I'm a marginalized class right now. You can't talk back to me.
But let's say the Strigoi do take over. Like, what are their plans for Manhattan? Like,
Oh, you mean like building development?
Like,
maybe
yeah,
some new,
like,
maybe a new strip mall,
Humans hanging from hooks, harvesting their blood,
and then just
probably
I don't know, kicking it.
I mean, are the
nap
Strigoi
time.
gonna like get jobs and stuff? They go, what are they
I mean,
gonna
we
do?
saw 3 employed Strigois last episode.
That's true.
So, but I think that's what we're gonna see, more of a kind of like a public face, even if it's the guy that watched Eldridge almost die and was like, whatever. Like that guy was just like.
Oh yeah, the Egyptian dude.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, yep, he fell over. Old guy on the ground. Ha, look at the old guy on the ground. They call him Eldridge Palmer. Maybe they should call him Eldridge Fall Over. That's the end of our show, guys. We'll see you guys next week for another The Strain After Show where we talk about Season 3, Episode 7. Again, we have, I think, 7 more episodes and then next season left in this series.
Yeah, because it's 13, right?
I think it's 13. In the meanwhile, you can catch us on Twitter and follow us and follow what we're doing. Tweet at us with your opinions on the show and comment on YouTube and comment on iTunes. Where can they follow you guys?
They can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at the Stacey Newsome.
You listening, Kevin Durant? Go ahead.
You can find me at One Youngster, which is ONEYOUNGSTA.
You
All
listening,
right.
Kevin Durant?
And you guys can find me on Twitter at Stephen Lemieux, STPHNLEMIEUX. Are we going to see more Laura next episode? We'll see. Tune in. See you then.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Can we please cool it with the pet children?
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.